Well, a very good day to you, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Kenya's most comprehensive political and public governance analysis show here on Herman Manyora's YouTube channel. My name is Evan Sokinyi, and I'm glad to have you on board on this particular show. I'm here with Professor Herman Manyora. How are you, sir?
Fine, thank you. Yes.
Let's look at Raila Amolo Odinga. Of course, he's still within the peripheries of a Kenyan political atmosphere. But here he is, of course, his quest for the AUC chairmanship position is still on. But with the recent happenings in the country, we've seen him bring on board his voice on matters affecting the country and what is taking place with regards to the recent demonstrations lightly led by the young people here. And a section of people believe that certainly the Azimio la Umoja One Kenya coalition putting the Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga there as part of their delegation when they were giving a presser. How should he actually approach this?
Well, Americans say you can chew gum and scale the stairs. You can do more than one thing at the same time. You can pursue his AU thing and still have an eye on Kenyan politics and Kenyan presidency. I don't think Raila needs the AU thing that badly as to self-gag. He doesn't need, it's not a matter of life and death.
Okay.
In fact, this must have been an afterthought to Raila Odinga, or something that is, he's not dying to have. But unfortunately, just like his dalliance with Uhuru Kenyatta, when the moments come when he should be at the top, those moments find him in a compromised position. If Raila had not, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, if Raila had not gone into handshake with Uhuru Kenyatta, William Ruto would never have been anything to contest against him. 2022 was his for the taking. Now, look at the revolution that is happening today. If Raila hadn't began this dalliance with Ruto, if he hadn't put his eye on AU and even before that gone into some kind of truce, some silent handshake with William Ruto, this would have been an Ayatollah Ruhollah Khomeini moment for Raila Odinga.
Okay.
These young people would just have gone to bring him. Now you see now
you
amepatia Mkio Mtata pass. Now people are talking of Mkio Mtata. They should be talking of Raila, but now it's Mkio Mtata.
So are you saying that the former PM has actually missed a very big chance here?
Yeah. This is the man, the Gen Zs will just march to Bondo or Karen or Kisumu and tell him, take this power. You see now, it becomes more difficult for the Gen Z revolution to have somebody in the State House, whether now or 2027, because anybody they pick on will have a lot of work to do. For Raila, it will just have been automatic. Now, the only chance that remains for Raila, in my view, is if the truthful man of God, you know the truthful man of God, son of Mau, Rigathi Gachagua himself, if he decides to punish Ruto and works with Raila Odinga, then Raila Odinga could still be president. Yeah.
So, under what circumstances would that be? Because one, we expect him to go ahead and vie for the AU.
And get or not get.
Chairmanship. Yes, of course.
Yes.
Of course, whether he'll get or not, that's another thing altogether.
Yes.
And we'll actually get back here to discuss that. But then right now he is here and he finds himself at crossroads because he's supposed to actually not be rubbing the government and especially President William Ruto on the wrong side.
I think he's on the horn of a dilemma. I think psychologists have something like that, where there are two options, both of them are attractive. And in trying to stick to one, you go through a lot of trouble, psychological problem. I don't know, there's a word I'm forgetting. You know, I did a bit of psychology. That's where Raila is. This is good, this is good. In pursuit of one, but you are chasing one, but you can still see that one seems to be good. Raila has made a mistake. I'm not saying there's anything wrong, because the best thing we got from the Raila Ruto silent handshake, we got peace. The country was going up in flames. And you know, I've always said this country is too good to go down. And I love this country. So as a Kenyan, I'm happy. But looking at the bigger picture, from a political perspective, Raila missed it by a big margin. By going into the handshake with Ruto, he missed it by a big margin. Because now, in fact, this thing, and Ruto is a smart politician. When somebody called me from the US, I said, please, Manyora, stop saying two things. One, that people love Ruto. But it is true they love him. Number two, stop saying he's smart. He's smart. That's why he was able to outsmart Raila and Ruto. And Uhuru.
Okay.
How could he do it if he was not smart? So you can see even this time he's smart. Supposing Raila was not with him now, these tough times, with these Gen Zs, Ruto will be packing his bag. By now he would have packed, or he would be busy packing. In fact, there are times you are in a job and you know it's not very secure. So you begin removing your personal effect from the office. Picha na wewe na watoto, sijui picha na wewe na bibi kwa ofisi, unaanza kutoa hizo pole pole. Utaki watu wajue una ubebi mingi. Hata secretary takes time to realize. Kidogo anaona la. Huyu mzee anajua. So Ruto will be doing that if Raila was not in that handshake with him, compounded by this AUC bid.
You're saying that President Ruto is somehow smart, but then recently that has been brought under a lot of question, because here perhaps this was a way of taming the Right Honorable Raila Odinga, because at that particular moment it was seen as if he was the only problem. When you're talking of the only thing that we got from that particular truce between the two, then it was the peace that was there. But don't you think that has been reversed right now, because seemingly Raila is no longer a threat, but then the young people are here who are even more fierce and more daring than Raila himself?
Again, I got a WhatsApp message, not WhatsApp, a text message, I think, from somebody. I think he said he was called Maina, I can't remember. One of the many I received about Ruto being smart. He said Ruto is a smart campaigner, but not a smart leader. So that answers what you are saying. So he gave me a chronology of things. How he worked with YK92 with Jironga and helped Moi to win during those turbulent times. How he was able to unseat Reuben Chesira, tough man, one of the richest men in the country. A man in whose home Moi had grown up. Then he went on and on until he won the blah blah, helped Raila in 2007, and so on and so on, campaigned for the no side of the constitution, gave a very formidable opposition to Kina Raila and Kibaki. Although they won, he lost, but really for a junior politician then, that was quite a showing. Then he got the president, then helped Uhuru twice to become president, and then he became. So this guy was arguing that his thesis is that Ruto is a smart campaigner, is a good campaigner, but is not a good leader. So that would answer your concern. So the smart part of it, according to this gentleman, I think is minor. The smart part of it would be, I think the guy is called minor, yeah. The smart part of it would be that Ruto is good at campaigning. And he, from 1997, when he got that seat from the man is called Edwin Maina from America. Okay. That he got that seat from first of all from YK92, then defeating Chesire, and then all the way through the Raila campaign of 2007, Pentagon, and he, by the way, he was very instrumental. And it was only him and Mother Karua who were standing in KICC during those moments, tough moments, that led us into almost civil war. And then he's become president. So, but when it comes to governing, the issues now you are raising seems to put to question his ability now to govern. Yeah.
Okay. No. Tell me, with the recent happenings in the country, and perhaps, do you think that these things might affect his stand and stature in the continent, based on how the rest of the presidents actually now view him, and if at all, how the president is viewed right now, whether it's negative or positive, will actually impact, or rather affect Raila's candidature?
What is happening now in the country? Of course, what is happening now in the country will have a bearing on Kenya's standing in Africa, in the world. Will have a bearing on Ruto's stature continentally. But even before this happened, there are things that have affected Ruto's name. First, standing in Africa. Not everybody is happy with a junior politician, a young, first-term president without international networks, completely unknown before he became president, to come and take a front seat with a front banner where established people in Africa are, and he's overtaken them somehow. Secondly, many African leaders have not been happy with his dalliance with the West, the most recent being the American trip, which saw Kenya become one of the few non-NATO allies of the United States of America. And issues to do with Israel and Palestine and the Hamas and so on and so forth. Issues to do with the Ukraine and Russia war and his stand and so on and so forth. Those things have sometimes made his colleagues in Africa have some less respect for him. But now this one, again, will affect Ruto, because you see many African countries are already copying what Kenya is doing.
Definitely.
Sorry to use the word copying, but that is, it is already in a spiral way. It's already in West Africa, already in Southern Africa and Southern Africa. And,
the rest of the countries have been inspired by what is taking
but
place
what is
here.
So naturally, the people in those countries, when they take on their own governments, they will be saying, you like Ruto must go. This president must go, just like Ruto in Gab. So yes, certainly what is happening in the country has a big bearing on his standing among his peers in Africa. Yeah.
So do you think it would be maybe a tall order for him to convince them to get the required support for Raila Odinga?
That's part of it. That's part of the game. That's part of the problem. Part of the problem that Kenya standing among African countries would be one of the challenges Raila's candidature will meet. For example, you are stand on the Russia-Ukraine war. Many African countries, you know where they stand. The Middle East problem, again, we know where many African countries stand, especially Muslim countries. There have been issues between Kenya and DRC, Kenya and Somalia, about the coastline and a few other countries. So Kenya is all over the place.
Okay.
And not for very good reasons. So Kenya standing compounded by William Ruto as a person, among African countries, could negatively affect it. If Raila loses this seat, it'll be for nothing but that. Of course, there are other reasons. Kenya is an emerging giant. People are used to knowing Nigeria and Egypt and maybe Morocco and those other Arab countries, but they are not quite in the picture. People are used to South Africa, Egypt, Nigeria. Now, they see some small boy, people say a new boy, a new what? A new boy on the block, whatever, a new kid on the block. They see Kenya emerging, and that natural jealousy and envy, again, is not helping Kenya much. Yeah. And they are competitors. Kenya has its competitors, regional competitors, including Ethiopia. When you are about to overtake somebody, you don't really smile at him. Unam approach with a stone face. Okay. So countries like Rwanda, Tanzania, Ethiopia, who are set to fight us for prominence in many spheres, including business, trade, political issues and what have you. They are not our best friends. They are not our best allies. They may show us their teeth. But inside, a country like Ethiopia cannot be very happy with Kenya. A country like Somalia is not happy with Kenya. Rwanda is not very happy with Kenya. Somalia is not very happy with Kenya. They may just show us their teeth. But inside, they are not quite happy with Kenya. So those things could affect Raila's. But the good news is, I don't think this is a matter of life and death to Raila Odinga. Mimi unajua mimi ni mtu ya Raila. Na mimi ikifika mahali kuambie ako na question mark. How many people tell Manyora you are right? We support you. We feel you. Raila has betrayed us. So this will be the wrong time for Raila to come. It will not work. In fact, it will give Ruto the energy, the vigor, the resolve to fight and remain in power beyond the 2027. If Raila tries to show his head now. This is time for somebody just unique. I've seen people like Buzeki saying they want to come as independent candidates, people like Okiom Tata, a few other Kenyans. This is their time, not for Raila. I've told you Raila's only chance at presidency is if the truthful man of God, the true son of Mau Mau from Mount Kenya, if he decides to hit at Ruto for whatever reason and supports Raila Odinga, with Uhuru Kenyatta, Raila will be the president of Kenya in 2027. And the truthful man of God will be his running mate. Yeah. And that will be a very easy way for the truthful man of God to become president in the future.
So if that was the case, then you'd actually advise, if that actually happens,
yes.
Then you'd actually advise Raila Odinga to abandon his quest and then...
He doesn't have to. He doesn't have. Raila doesn't have to.
Run and then
let me tell you, when you are running for presidency, over 60 or so percent of your energy and resources goes into name recognition. Okay. Which is your constituency?
Awendo constituency.
If you want to run for Awendo, all your energy, your attention, your resources. When? Good. I wish you good luck. You are a good man. When you run, you realize all your resources, about 80-70% will go into name recognition. Okay. So that 30-20% goes in the actual campaign. Okay. Raila already has the name. So Raila does not even need 2 months. I said this in 2021, and people thought I was joking. I told them Raila can come back and run. At that time was running out. And people dismissed him. Say he would, even if he came, it's too late. I told him, but Raila doesn't need any introduction. Sure enough, Raila came in the October of that year. October towards the end of October. November is when he now officially announced he was running, having been denying all along because of BBI. You remember? But didn't he get close to winning? Let's just leave it like that. At close to winning. So Raila can be in AU for the whole of next year and almost the whole of 2026. Towards the end of 2026, November, October, even December, he packs his bag from Addis Ababa, bids his friends there farewell, anafanyiwa party kubwa, anazunguka manchi ya Afrika akiwapatia kwa heri, anamalizia Nairobi na kutangaza is running for presidency. Raila doesn't, he only needs to be within the timelines. The legal and constitutional timelines. That's all Raila needs. He doesn't need any preparation.
So where is he going to get another bullet? Yes, he only had one.
No, the magazine he had, there was one bullet in the chamber. You know, the chamber of Raila's gun had one bullet, which fell the leopard. But I think somebody took that, not the leopard, the antelope. But I think somebody took it before he got there and disappeared with it. It's in the nature of politics. But he had a magazine, like he has said. Okay. People are concentrating on the bullet within the gun's chamber. But the magazine has more bullets. He will just put there and Raila does not need any. Much as some of us now really are not happy with him. It is the truth is, people, even if those who are not happy with, can win. So Raila can win, especially. And I think that's, I'm not seeing any other possibility. Raila can only win in a free and fair election if he's supported by Rigathi Gachagua.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is it from Professor Herman Manyora here. Weigh in on this conversation and tell us what you think. Till we have it again at this very platform, have yourself a lovely day. My name is Evans. Okay.